Okay, the oven cabinet. So here's my oven that I use. It's a double oven. I just used the stock one in Revit. Okay, I didn't feel like really tracking down that, so I just pulled in the stock one from Revit. But let me hide it here to show you what. Okay, so the oven cabinet, it's the Cabinet Tall Merillat Oven Universal. Excuse me. It's got, I use the one drawer option. I use the 8 feet tall one, 96 inches tall. Okay. And I had to adjust the opening size to fit the wall oven. Okay. And if you, I don't think we did wall ovens in your projects. You kind of have to pull it in and then do a section through the actual wall oven. Let me go back and pull my section over. Because I've got the bottom of the wall oven sitting on the front of the cabinet opening right here where my mouse is, okay? And in the cabinet, there'll be a floor across there that the wall oven sits on. The opening at the top has to be sized so that the front trim or cover of the front covers up the opening. So I had to adjust the height of the opening to match the oven. And then the same way with the sides here, I had to match. And you'll have to play with this thing in a couple of different views, okay? But you can measure the width of the oven that it requires for the body of the oven, and then adjust your opening size to fit that. Okay, so, oh, why do I have a piece of brown sticking through there? Did I not adjust the height of my oven? I did not. Oh no. How could I make such a mistake? You've caught me. Okay, I'll fix that. But that's one of those things you got to look out for there. Okay, so okay, I'll have to deal with that. Best to do it early, eh? Okay, so I got that put in. Now let's look at the fillers here on this bump out. You can see it; they're behind the actual door fronts, and so I basically just did an extrusion in place. Okay, so I modeled a component with an extrusion. When you go to align things, and it's 3/4 of an inch back from the front corner. Okay, so if you measure from the front edge of the sink base cabinet line back, it's 3/4 of an inch back. This is 3/4 of an inch thick. It's at a 45-degree angle. And then here it's 3/4 of an inch back also on this one. And I extruded it from the hardwood floor up to the top of the cabinet. Okay, now all my material types are the same as the color of the material. It's the Marilat wood, Marilat hazelnut. That's what I'm going with on this one. Okay, now, and so it's just an extrusion. Okay, so I did that. The one here by the microwave, I needed a filler on the edge of it to get over beyond, just because this thing has to come back at the angle, and then there needs to be a small straight piece, if you will. So there's the shape for it. Same thing, 3/4 of an inch back here at a 45-degree angle, and then I think I came out 1 inch. Yeah, so it came over 1 inch. And I extruded that height up because you need a little something for the microwave to go against. Okay, then I allowed a 24-inch opening for the dishwasher, and then put my a drawer base in next to it. Okay, then I have a refrigerator panel here, which I created this family. I could have done an extrusion in place, but I took an existing component, and I'm going to include this in the package that I gave you. And so I created it basically 1.5 inches thick by 24 inches deep, 96 inches tall. Okay. So the refrigerator panel in, and then I just used a stock Revit refrigerator. I think it's a stock Revit refrigerator. Anyway, I use that. And you can see I get it too close to the wall, so let me pull it down a little bit. There we go. Yeah. I tried looking for a nice GE one, but I couldn't find one to download easily enough. Anyway, so I put that in. Okay, so that kind of gets the base cabinets themselves, other than the island, okay? Yeah, okay, so that got the base cabinets. The fillers, I've talked about the fillers there. Refrigerator panel. Okay, one thing here, a lot of times when you do this bump and pull, you do something other than your standard toe kick, and they have a Valance panel that you can purchase and put in, but they don't have a model for it. So I just extruded one myself. It's 3/4 inch thick material. It's aligned with the front edge of the cabinet face, not the doors, and the width of it. Okay, and I did like 4 inches. Drew my lines over. That's 4 inches across on both sides, and then I drew an arc that's, I don't know, maybe 2.5 inches up here. Okay, something like that. As long as it's something close to that, will be cool. And it put that in and trimmed it out. Okay, and did the same thing over here for the oven. It's a different size. This one's a 30 inch, the other's a 36. But I did the same thing there. Okay. And I'm pretty sure that's got the base cabinet stuff itself taken care of. Okay, so my countertop, we're going with the assumption that we're going to put in a granite countertop. And if you remember, the granite colors in Revit don't look really very good as far as kitchen countertop stuff goes. So I downloaded the Corian material library. Now, Corian is a solid surface countertop material. And they've got a nice color library. And so I downloaded those, and I used one that looks similar to granite. I think it's one of their quartz colors. But I'm giving you the material library for that also. And what did I use? I used the Corian platinum material because it looks kind of like a blackish grayish granite. Okay, you can choose whatever color granite that you want to use. I'll be okay with it. All right, but anyway, so I did my sketch on this. Okay, so it goes from the chipboard wall in the back, refrigerator panel here. I did offset from here. And when you're doing this, I did like I think it's 1.5 inches out from the face of the frame. And the drawer braces, remember, kind of messed you up with a little bit. Did the 45s there. Coming around. Okay. And then did an extrusion up. And my heights, let me pop, I gotta look at my section view, but I'm pretty sure those heights are correct. I've been playing around with this thing. Oh, I gotta move that. Okay. Okay, so get your cabinets at the right height because they're sitting on the hardwood floor. And granite countertops are not typically 1.5 inches. Corian countertops are not 1.5 inches either. They use some backer behind them. But these are 1.25 inches thick. Okay. So you do your countertop. My sink, I'm going to give you the sink and the faucet. It's a Kohler undermount. Most granite and solid surface countertops use an undermount sink. And this particular sink will cut the hole in the countertop for you. Okay. Not all of them do that, but this one, yeah, I'm pretty sure this one did. And so you'll put it in and get it centered in your cabinet, and then, pop you a section through because you got to make sure you got enough clearance for the cabinet frame and stuff around the sink opening. So put that one in. Then pull in your actual cooktop. Same thing for it. I found and downloaded a GE. Oh, excuse me. This is I thought it was a GE. Oh, KitchenAid or something. I downloaded one that looked a little bit better than the stock Revit one. Okay. You can use it if you want to. You can use the stock Revit one if you want to. But put it in, and then went back to edit my countertop to make an opening for the stove or the range top to fit in the stove top. Okay. Now let's come back here and look at my countertop. Okay. The backsplash was just a simple extrusion down both sides. The backsplash is a little bit thinner. They are like 1 inch thick and 4 inches tall. And so I just did a simple extrusion on both sides. Okay, so it's against the chipboard and sits on top of the countertop. However, you can't finalize it until you get your wall cabinets in, but you can do it to start it if you wish. Now, these things get some kind of an edge on the front, And what I did is I went back into, I just went back into edit in place on my countertop. And of course, you got to be in a plan view to do it. But I did a sweep void in this. And so if I come to here and go create, and I went to void forms and chose a void sweep right here. And I chose the edges of the countertop as my path. And there's my sweep. Okay, so there you can see the path of it. And then I sketched a profile in a section view. Just a triangle right there that's 3/8 of an inch on both sides at 45 degrees. That's a pretty standard edge detail for a granite countertop. Okay. Okay. Now we haven't talked about the island yet. I'll deal with that specifically in another section. If you still want to, okay, let me pause and come to another one, okay?